what's up, y'all? This is Jordan.
And this is Juanita.
And welcome back to the channel. Another episode of Love Does Cost a Thing.
That's right, because it costs everything.
Everything.
Baby.
If you're new here, welcome to the family. Hit that subscribe below.
Yes.
And you already know we got a new episode every week, Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't touch that dial. We're back at it again next week. First and foremost, before we get into the episode today, shouts out to Unashamed Apparel.
Woo, 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 woo.
The hottest, if I may say so myself, Christian apparel company that is known to man. You can get all of your Unashamed apparel at shopUnashamed.com. You already know, because we're family, they're hooking y'all up with a 10% discount on your entire order. So go ahead and go to shopUnashamed.com and use your code LDCAT at checkout. All right, let's get into today's episode. Juanita Green-Ellis.
Yeah?
We have been together for going on 11 years, married for going on 7 of those years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt like that in the entirety of our relationship, have you ever felt like have you ever had the expectation of me that I should just know what you need?
The answer, truthfully?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you felt like I should just have known what you needed, right?
Yeah.
Give an example of what you felt like I should have just known what you needed. Let's go early on. Let's go back into the college days. What is one of those things that you felt like I should have just known?
It's my birthday. Give me a birthday present.
I should have just known that.
Because it's your birthday.
But what if I don't expect a birthday present for my birthday?
And I agree with you, right? But at that time...
Yo, they're going to go so hard in the comments.
I didn't think about that.
They're going to go so hard in the comments. Because people are probably... Y'all are getting ready to jump out your seat. Y'all are. Y'all really are. Can I just confess my sins to y'all? I genuinely, for about 30 years of my life...
Oh my gosh.
I just didn't. I never really valued birthdays.
Yeah. Yeah.
I genuinely did not. It didn't matter much to me. It didn't matter much if whether or not people acknowledged my birthday.
Yeah. It wasn't that thing for you.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Wholeheartedly. And all of that changed. But nevertheless, the topic of today is, should your partner
just know what you need? Like, without saying anything. Should they just read your mind and know what you need and then do it?
Is it plausible? Is it reasonable for your partner to just simply know, or for you to expect your partner just to know what you need?
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. So we are creating this new series. So over the next couple of weeks, we are going to be debunking. We're going to be debunking.
So we can help you.
Some relationship myths, okay? Because we don't want y'all in bondage. We want y'all free out here. So y'all can get the person the Lord called you to have.
Because the thing is this. And when we say the person the Lord called you to have, first, do we believe in soulmates?
We don't want to get into that because then we're going to have a whole video on that. What I mean is the person that is right for you, the person that you feel like you can build with, they have integrity, all of those great things. That person, okay, that you can spend forever with. Let's just put it
in the category of a God-approved man or woman.
There we go. Okay.
And we'll explain what that means in another episode. Okay, sorry. I was going off on tangent a little bit. Okay. We're going to debunk some myths. The first one we're going to debunk today is this idea that your partner should just know what you need.
Yeah.
Okay? Talk a little bit about how you grew up. Just really general, right?
Yeah.
Like compared to how I grew up.
Yeah. So if we're taking that idea of the birthday, like you should just get me a gift for the birthday, or you should just give me a card for my birthday. I just grew up that way. Like celebrations of birthdays is a thing. Like literally, I have my immediate family. Jordan jokes all the time. It's 40, 50 now because we got lots of kids. But yeah, like my immediate family is not just like my parent and my brothers or my siblings. But my immediate family is my parent, my siblings, my cousins, my first cousins, my aunts, my uncles. Like that's my family, And that's how I grew up. I grew up in a multi-generational home. And so my grandparents are like another set of parents for me. And so my family celebrates everything. Like Like, you could sneeze and not hurt yourself, and we throwing you a party, okay? And I love it. You feel me? Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I grew up that way. Funny. And I love it because oftentimes people wait until you're gone to do things like that. Good. And so what I'm really grateful for is that foundation piece that my people's like gave me, and they cultivated in me, is to be able to celebrate those things no matter how big we think they are or how small they are.
All right.
And so
keep going, finish your thought.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, and so that's my perspective of birthdays. Yes, right, like I then expect that same thing to be reciprocated. I expect to be celebrated.
So that has formed your worldview.
Yes, right? My perspective.
That's formed your perspective. That's how you think, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
It's a beautiful thing. In fact, when I met Juanita's family for the very first time, it was Thanksgiving many moons ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I see where she comes from. This is a foundation that I genuinely like. Yeah. I want to have this type of legacy coming from me. And so that was actually one of the things that solidified me wanting to seriously pursue Juanita. Nevertheless, how I grew up was completely different. Yeah. Okay? I have a huge family, but we are not as close-knit. We don't have problems like that. That ain't what I'm saying. Especially for those that watch this video, I'm not insinuating nothing. I'm just saying that it's different. Yeah. Okay? My immediate family were more close-knit. Mom, dad, brother. Okay? It wasn't the same. And so this was very much so rather a new experience, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, the problem isn't either one of our worldviews. Right. The problem is that when you come together, you now create a new worldview.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's good, because when we bring back that idea of, I just expected that, people probably are thinking like, as you should, girl, like, right?
It's his birthday.
But I think the key and the main point that you're making right now is, again, it's not inherently wrong that I expected that for my birthday. It's not inherently wrong that you don't expect that for your birthday. The issue is more so of that was never communicated. And I just made the assumption that because I was raised that way and that was something that was true and something that I desired, that automatically meant that you should too.
Right.
And I think that was doing you a disservice, because that was discrediting your perspective and your voice and kind of what you came, a place where you came from. And so it made it seem like, oh, because I think this way, then you have to think this way.
And at the same time, because I've learned this week that people hear what they want to hear. Let me be I went viral on TikTok this past week, y'all, and it's just been going crazy. Nevertheless, I want to also say that the same applies for me. Yeah. I should have very well taken the initiative, right, to inquire about Juanita's expectations for these types of days.
Yeah.
Right? Now, again, this is many, many years ago. Very young, very immature, like trying to figure it out, not really knowing to cover this blind spot. It was a blind spot. I couldn't see there. Right? So it very much so can go both ways. The problem with having these unforeseen expectations is not that you have them, is that you're not communicating them.
Yeah.
One of the very first things that we learned when we sat down with Apostle Coates for premarital is she is not a mind reader.
Yeah.
He's not a mind reader.
Yeah.
And it is improbable for you to expect them to read your mind, even if you guys got skin in the game. Right? Yeah. Even if you got skin in the game. Meaning, even if y'all have been together for a certain amount of time, if there is something that you expect, my sister, listen, I'm not sorry. I'm going to say it. You better tell him, or you're just going to set yourself up for disappointment.
Listen.
You're going to set yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah. Most of the time, we kind of go above and beyond. Like, we think about those things that you don't share with us. So naturally, we expect the same back, because that's just kind of how we're wired. And so I think when the man does that in return, it feels good to us, because we're like, wow, we do this for everybody else, and now this is finally being done for us. And I do think that oftentimes too, and I think it depends on your dynamic as well as your experience. And what I mean by that is, unfortunately, and my sister-in-law and I talk about this all the time, unfortunately, social media as well as TV, news, all of those things kind of portray men as like they just live here. They're just beings, and the woman does everything. And it's like, pick up that paper, take out that trash. It's like we have to tell you how to do everything. And so I think that because of that, we start to create this picture in our mind of like, that's how it's supposed to be. So we start to like, to live that basically. Mm-hmm. And then we become more frustrated because now it's like, well, why do I have to tell you to do everything? Mm-hmm. You know? And so I think it's both sides, right? And this is really speaking from like a man and woman perspective, where the woman feels like she's speaking a lot and trying to tell the man, or communicating overly communicating, and feeling like at that point she's nagging. Mm-hmm. I think from that perspective, the man could also meet her halfway. Sure. As far as maybe stepping up, or like how you were saying, taking a little more initiative. Yeah. And I think it's not necessarily that like I have to tell you to pick that tissue up. I think it's an overall like, okay, well, we want our house to look nice. That's something I'm communicating to you, right? Like, so now whatever that looks like, you're going to take initiative within that. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like me micromanaging you saying, hey, pick this up. Hey, clean this. Hey, put that over there. It's more of like, what is the standard, or what's the expectation that I'm looking for? Mm-hmm. And then within that, you do what you feel is best, or you do what works best for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll say this. I agree with what you're saying. My initial comment was more geared towards like those special type of days. Like,
oh, sorry. Mm-hmm.
You know, no. Don't be sorry, because I think what you said is extremely relevant. I'll give you this tip, this key, okay, for your relationship. Clarity fuels confidence. Mm-hmm. So if you want to grow in your confidence with each other, mm-hmm. you're depending your ability to depend on each other, especially if you feel like you live in a world where the women do everything, mm-hmm. right? Or if you feel like you have to nitpick or nag or remind, mm-hmm. right? You both have to get clear on your expectations. Yeah. Yeah. Because you can't fulfill what you can't define. Did I say that right? You cannot fulfill what you can't define. You need a definition. You need a target. And any man that has a clear target, that knows what he's doing, he's going to hit it. He's going to hit the target. He's going to hit the target. He don't got a problem with whining and dining you, bro. I promise you he don't. I promise you he don't. I promise you he don't got no... If he's... Oh, Jesus. Let me... Oh, Jesus. Let me stay off that.
Yes, please. Thank you.
He don't got a problem with doing none of that. I promise you he doesn't. But he's not wired like you. Yeah. Bro, I promise you she don't have a problem with serving you. But she's not wired like you. Don't expect her to do something that you have not communicated to her. And now I'm going to charge you as the man, the leader, the head of the household. First of all, let me also say, if you're a boyfriend, you're not the head of the household. You're not in charge. If you're a fiance, you're not in charge.
Yes.
You're not the head.
This is true.
You are not.
This is true.
If you're a husband, you are. Yeah. I know it don't feel good, but that's the Bible. Yeah. Okay? You got to make the commitment. You are not the head of the household if it ain't on wax. Okay? But if you are, you have to take the leadership role and the responsibility of what goes on in your house, bro. And so if there's miscommunication, if there are targets being missed, y'all got to get back on the same page. You know whose responsibility it is to initiate that? You. And so don't expect her if you haven't communicated to her. Sis, don't expect him if you haven't communicated to him. Make this a common practice in your dealings with each other. Yeah. Always check in. Never assume. Of course, there are things that you will know. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying about every little itty bitty thing. Right. I'm talking about like, okay, you about to hit a milestone birthday, and you know you want something special. Stop playing. Yeah. Stop subtweeting in your house. Y'all just walk around the house subtweeting.
That's good.
Y'all dating. You keep sending your boyfriend or your man or whatever posts of stuff on Instagram because that's what you subliminally want. We got to grow up. We got to grow up.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking as you're talking, like I 100% agree with you. I'm just wondering where that stems from.
I'm gonna tell you where
it comes from because I'm thinking about how I've heard people say, like, if they love me, they should know what I need. Mm-hmm. Like, I've heard that before.
That's a lie.
And I agree with you, but I'm just wondering, like, I guess what is it that and you guys could answer in the comments too, like, what does that do for a person, I guess? Like, why do we feel like we don't want to communicate?
Because here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Because first of all, it comes from Hollywood. It comes from this idea of what romance actually is.
Fair, yes, I
romance
agree.
is a real thing, and you should experience it, but it requires work. And here's the thing, right? The problem is that we think it's all about us in the relationship. I understand what people say, what they mean when they say, I'm the prize. I agree, you the prize. But if you a prize, what are you getting? Shouldn't you expect the same thing? Shouldn't you also expect a prize?
Yeah.
So now you go into this relationship thinking that you the cream of the crop. Who are you going to be with? You don't want something equal or with more value?
Right. Yeah.
You going into it thinking that it's all about you. No, relationship is sacrifice. It's not a self-serving thing. Yeah. And so the problem then comes in is because we think that it's all about us, and we think that they should just know so that it can make our lives special and our lives better, not knowing that you have to do as much or maybe even sometimes or in certain seasons more.
Yeah.
You know, it's work. It's not all about your own personal enjoyment in the relationship. It's not. It's sacrifice. It's sacrifice. Come on, bro. I'm about to put some pressure on y'all brothers. Okay? You know what? If you're the head of the household, it means you're the lead servant.
Yeah.
Y'all got a little extra. You know who it goes to first? I'm talking about money. It don't go to you first. It goes to them. You're the lead servant, bro. You are responsible for everything that happens in your house, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
You're responsible. You are the one who is being held accountable first.
Yeah.
And so these are the things that we got to nip in the bud, y'all, because this is how our relationships are going to be made much stronger.
Yeah.
When we make it a point to communicate about the things that we desire, that we aspire to accomplish, our visions, our goals, our dreams, the things that we want.
Yeah.
They are not you. You are not them.
Yeah.
Juanita and I have similar upbringings, but still very, very different. We're two totally, completely different people. She was her. How old were you? 18, 19 years before you met me? I was me 20, 21 years before I met her. That don't just change.
Right. Yeah.
It does not just change. It don't just change because y'all are infatuated with each other. It don't just change because y'all are attracted to each other. It don't just change because y'all get along. You got to work to become one.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Going to the altar, getting married don't make you one per se. You got to continue to become one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course, technically it does make you one. Y'all get what I hope you get what I'm saying. Please don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm saying you got to work at it.
Yeah.
Do not expect these things. And when you do expect these things and they miss the mark, I want you to take accountability.
I agree with you. I'm just thinking about like, I guess I'm just doing a lot of self-reflecting because I think it's important to be like authentic and, honest, like when we have videos like this, because I think that sometimes people think that
we perfect.
Not quite, yes, but I think that they think maybe we're just kind of speaking from like this mountaintop. But really, like everything that we're sharing with you guys are things that we have experienced ourselves, whether we are currently experiencing it or we have already experienced it and have grown through it and have learned it or learned through it. And so I'm just thinking about this particular topic because I was that girl, you know, that expected a lot outside of even just like those like major holidays. There were certain things that I just expected and I would get let down often, not because you didn't care about me, not because you didn't love me, but because I never communicated them to you. You know what I'm saying? And so I think about how many times like I just made myself sad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how many times like I wasted time complaining or being upset or having an attitude because I was subtweeting, because I was like, oh, I hinted at this and he never did it. Versus just literally coming out and being like, hey, I want that. Hey, I would love this. Hey, you know, when this time comes around, can you do X, Y, and Z? And then I also think about on the flip side, times where I did communicate that and how you fulfilled all of those expectations and how great I felt because I was like, oh my God, I told my husband this and he did it. Ooh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I just encourage you guys, wherever you are in this journey, whether you feel like, oh, I'm a great communicator. I communicate my expectations all the time. I got 1,000 expectations, okay? Or you're on the other side, you may be a little bit like me where you're like, ooh, sis, you right, sis. Like, I be having a lot of expectations and I don't be doing my best to communicate them. Just give yourself grace, give your partner grace, man. And just know that, like, it's better on the other side. It's better when you communicate. And no matter how difficult it may be to actually, like, muster up the words to do it. Because you're going to be better as a result.
Yeah, and ultimately you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to be disappointed
when you don't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so save yourself and your partner, you know, that additional hiccup, that self-inflicted hiccup.
Yeah.
And just have the conversation. It would be to your benefit to strengthen the muscle of communication within your relationship.
Yeah.
It's only going to enhance the quality of your experience.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't going to make it worse. It's going to make it so much better. Take this leap, y'all. Have these conversations.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly.
Yeah.
It's going to strengthen you guys. It's going to make y'all come closer together.
Yeah.
And then look, especially if it's on, like, in our case, right, where I was missing the mark, right, where I was just missing it, right? When you have those conversations,
mm-hmm.
and you communicate, he is going to, and ask me how I know, he is going to start to recognize patterns. You're going to have to... I can't say train him, but you're going to have to show him. And once he learns, he'll be able to fly the plane on his own. You ain't going to have to keep on, you know, as they say, beat a dead horse. You're not going to keep having to go through the same things. He's going to start to take the initiative because he's going to know how you prefer to receive love.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Because this is a conversation about love languages.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that you have a preferred love language that you want to receive, and you also have a preferred love language that you like to give.
Mm-hmm.
And what you like to give may not be what they want to receive or what they desire to receive.
Yeah.
Their preference is actually a deficit that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so they need that bucket filled in order to have that sensation or make the connection that that they are loved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you got to have these conversations. Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay. You got any closing words for the people?
Yeah. No.
Did I do good today? I ain't leaning on nobody too much.
Oh.
I did good?
You did good.
Okay.
Pretty mellow.
Oh, pretty mellow.
No, I was just thinking about something you said, like when you were closing, and this idea of, like, sharing it with your partner and then they will be able to, like, start to do that on your own. Like, I think that sometimes people
like when we were expecting Josiah,
mm-hmm.
and it was our anniversary, and you woke up in the morning that one day, and what happened?
I don't know. It's like,
yeah. Oh, you see how she do? You see how she do? Just try to strip a brother from all his credit.
No. Jordan gives the best surprise. So yeah, so I woke up.
Yeah, stop playing. The okie doke.
I woke up and it was our anniversary and he gave me, like, this envelope and I opened it up and it was basically a receipt from flights purchased. And we were going to go to a place that we've never been before. And the best piece was that we were going to visit my brother. Oh, I'm about to cry because I love him so much. And at that time, he was in a different state. And me and my brother grew up like this. So it just was like, I was pregnant. Talk about being floored, like crying. Just nasty. It was so good. But
wait, and this is the result of communicating your expectations.
Yeah.
You gotta be willing to let that plant grow. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
You been you, however long you been you. He been him, however long he been him.
Yeah.
Y'all are becoming one. Y'all are growing together.
Yeah.
So make those investments, make those deposits, and watch this beautiful flower grow. I promise you it's worth it.
Yeah. So we just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you
for watching our channel today.
Yes.
Listen, if you like it, love it.
Listen.
Or like it. I don't know which one you do.
Listen.
Like it and love it.
Look.
Comment.
Yes.
Okay. Subscribe and share. Also, don't forget to join our private community, our Love Bug community. Yes. Okay, so you can have some one-on-ones with Jordan and I. Talk to us a little bit about your own personal situation, get some questions answered, all that good stuff. Hang out with us on a random Tuesday evening, if you want to. Right. But yeah, subscribe to our personal channel. We would love to see you, and thank you so much for watching.
Yes, and if you have questions, there's a link in the description below. You can post your questions
there. Ask us.
You can stay anonymous, or we can shout you out on the show. Totally up to you. We're gone, y'all. This is Jordan Juanita. Love Does Cost a Thing. Another episode in the books. Make sure you subscribe below and tune in next week for a brand new episode.